Welcome to our first lecture on HTML Basic. Today, you will learn how to create and design web pages using traditional foundational language of the web, such as HTML. So, what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language used to design pages on the World Wide Web. With HTML, you can structure content and apply styles with CSS to create visually engaging web pages. So as you can see, if we visit the ESPN website and we try to inspect the web page itself, so this is composed of varieties of HTML tags, such as this one. So this is sample one is the H1 tag. So before you transform into a full front-end web developer, you need to understand first the structure of the web page, which is the HTML. So we have a code editor here, and we have a folder of HTML with index.html. So that is the content. So we will break down the parts of an HTML code, at least the standard parts. So first, every HTML document begins with a doctype declaration. This tells the browser what version of HTML to expect. So if you have a code editor, you can type doctype. I'm using VS Code here, Visual Studio Code. So this declares that we are using an HTML document. So another one is the HTML tag. So you code HTML. So this tag encompasses all your HTML code on the web page. So we are adding a starting tag and a closing tag. Next is the head section. So my recommendation is to indent for proper readability. So we have the head. So the head section contains meta information like the title and links to style sheets. So more on CSS on the next video. Then we also have the body section. The body section is where you place the content that the user will see. So for example, if we add the title and we say HTML basics. So let's run this HTML5. By the way, I'm using a live server extension for the VS Code so that I can execute. So the title, if you notice, is in the tab of the browser. So if I change this one, for example, basic, so remember the changes, so without S, okay? So the body part, as I've mentioned earlier, this is where you place the content that the user will see. So all of the visualization here, including text, videos, images, are part of the body itself. So if you return to the PowerPoint, so I'm using VS Code. Definitely you will not be using Notepad, or you can have Sublime Text. So you can download this one. And another one, the tools that you will need is a web browser. I'm using Chrome, but you can use any browser that you like. So what are the basic tags of the HTML. So I mentioned earlier the title. This defines the title of the document. Then we have also headings. So H1 to H6. So for example, if we create H1 and we declare the content as heading 1, so this will be the size of the heading. So moving on, if we have heading 2, then we have heading 3, we have H4 heading, heading 3, heading 4, H5, and the last one will be heading 6. So there are only 6 heading in HTML. So the H1 is the largest, and the H6 is the smallest one. So we also have basic tags such as paragraph. So if we look back again on the ESPN website, so this one is a paragraph tag. So if I copy this one and create a specific paragraph, for example, so this will be the result. So the paragraph tag creates a section of a specific text. So we can also do the strong, which is inline element. So more on that. So for example, if I enclose the NBI final text to the strong tag, this will make the NBA finals text a bold one. And for example, I enclose this to emphasis tag, which is EM. So this will make the text italics, as you can see here. So the next one, we have the anchor tag with conjunction with the href and the target attribute. So the A tag creates hyperlinks. You can use again the attribute href for the link to the URL and the target, which is for the link behavior. So for example, I have an A tag and I want to go, for example, to Google. So the href signifies the link, and in between the A tag signifies the text for the link. For example, go to Google. So this will be the result. So if I click this one, so you see I'm redirecting to the Google web page. So this one is the A tag. So you can also do the target attribute. For example, underscore, which is blank, for example. So this will redirect, but it will create another tab. So instead of the same tab. So next one, we have the basic tags in terms of list. So first, we have the UL. So if you're creating a list, it is mandatory that you have the LI element. For example, we have list 1. Let's copy this one. And we have list 2. So if you'll notice, we have a list here. So since this one is unordered, so we are presented with bullet points. And the next one, we have also the OL. which is the ordered list. So if you have done the ordered list, it will be presented by numerical values. Or you can modify this to Roman numeral in alphabetical order such as A, B, C. But more on that. So for now, we are just studying the structure of the basic HTML tag. So we also have tables. So if you want to create table, so it will be enclosed in the table tag. We have the table heading, and each table heading will have a specific table data. So for example, name. So for example, address. So let's create a table here. So we have the name, we have the address. So for example, table row, which is TR. So table data, for example, my name and my specific address, for example, I'm from the Philippines. So we have the T head and we have the specific addressing. Minor correction. So I mean we have the TR here for table row and we have T head here. So let me edit this one. So the table head usually is the label of the table. Then for example, another row. For example, we have John from the United States. So that will be the table headers. So TR for table row and TD for table uh, data or cell. So that will be the basics of HTML. So if you want to create borders here, so that will be the job of the cascading style sheet. So for now, so we are just focusing on the structure of the HTML code. So the link to this exercise will also be provided. So I will post the link and see you on the next lecture.